Now let's continue talking about the diminished 7 chord and its function as a secondary diminished 7 chord. So what does that mean? Simpler term, a passing chord. So let's see how we can use the diminished 7 chord as a passing chord to add some interest to your progressions and to songs. So we learned about the diminished 7 chord and its shape here, and how it's built off of the 1, the flat 3, the flat 5, and the double flat 7, or also known as the 6. Now we are going to be in the key of C. Now, just thinking about the concept of secondary diminished 7 chords, the way that you think about it is, what is the 7 degree of the chord that you want to go to? So it's the same concept like the secondary dominant chord. The secondary dominant chord, we thought about the 5th degree of the chord that you want to go to. This concept, you want to think about what is the 7th degree of the chord that you want to go to. So, for example, we're to do the progression of 1, 2, 3. Now, let's add passing chords in between that. We're going to be using the diminished 7 chord as a passing chord. So here's my 1. Now I want to get to the 2. So let's add a little bit of diminished 7 sound in there. So now I have to think about, what is the 7 of D? This is easy. All you have to do is go down a half step, and that is your 7. Okay? So we're thinking about D major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th degree of that particular new tonic, or the chord that you want to go to. Simple way of thinking about it is just go down a half step. So now that's the new 7. So here's the 1, and then 2. So if I want to use a diminished 7 chord in between that, I can do this. So why did that work? Because here we have the 1, and then we shift our thinking to, this is the new 1 that I want to go to, but it's the 2. But all I have to think about is, what is the 7 of the chord that I'm going to? So in this case, this is the 2 chord, and I hope this isn't confusing with all these numbers. So this is the 2 chord, but now I have to think about it as the 1 chord, or the new tonic. And what is that 1? That's that D flat, or C sharp. So we have C to C sharp, the new root, to the D. Well, let's keep going. We want to get to the E minor 7, which is the 3rd degree, right? So we can use that same concept. What is the 7 of that new tonic? Well, here's one simple, remember, rule of thumb, just go down half step. That's the new 7. So putting it all together would be, that's the 2 to the 3. So you can see how we can add a little bit of movement for the ear and for the chord. You can kind of hear it move up with the diminished 7 chord, because it's almost chromatic, and chromatic means moving up fret by fret. That's basically the bass line there. 1 to the sharp in that, to the 2, another sharp, 3. So all together is. So there's one song that I'm thinking of that uses or can use the diminished seventh chord concept. So there's this song called Tu Fidelidad in Spanish, Your Faithfulness in English, but it goes Tu fidelidad es grande. Then it goes to the 5. So let's break down that first part. It goes Tu fidel. That's the 1. So Tu fidelidad. That's the 7 of the 2 right here. So just like that same concept we did here, except we're doing it in a different key. So there's Tu fidelidad es grande. So using that diminished 7th chord as a passing chord really adds some. It just makes it sound nicer. You know, I could have just done Tu fidelidad es grande, right? Tu fidelidad incomparable. But instead, since I know this concept already, I can do Tu fidelidad es grande. Tu fidelidad incomparable. Right? So you can use this particular passing chord, the diminished 7th chord, anywhere. As long as it's tasteful and it goes with the melody and like it doesn't clash with the way people are singing and stuff. So try this chord out in a song that you already know. Let's say you want to get to the 2 or the 3 or even the 6. That's where I would use them. I would use the diminished these diminished chords as to get to the 2 or the 3, which we already did, or for the 6. And then so here's a 5 and here's a. They sound great to get to a 2 chord, a 2 chord, a 3 chord, and a 6 chord. All the minors basically sound really, really nice. So experiment with that. Use those diminished chords to get to your next chord.